Greetings, one and all, and welcome to the first entry of Combat Critiques. I've analyzed some fight scenes from Ruby and For Honor on my channel, but I thought, hey, why not make a section for this sort of thing? Here I'll take a look at fight scenes in games, movies, and shows to see just how well, or not, they were done. So for this first installment, let's have a gander at the fight of Master Chief versus Locke from Halo 5. So before the fight begins, we have to assess the objectives of each side. Blue Team's objective is to proceed through the teleporter and continue their, rather nonsensical, mission. Fireteam Osiris is tasked with apprehending them. This means that Osiris can't use lethal force, but there's nothing stopping Blue Team from doing so. Master Chief at this point is focused on getting to Cortana, and that means that there's no reason for him or his team to hold back. Do I think that Chief would just immediately jump to lethal force? Probably not, but it is an option if things go south. An option that Osiris doesn't have.
Contact!
Move! Contain!
So initially, the two sides see each other from a fair distance away, separated by floating teleporter platforms. All of them move like they're 200 pounds overweight and just ate 6 cheeseburgers apiece. Seriously, why are you all moving so slowly? Spartan 2s like Blue Team are supposed to be super soldiers, able to move, react, and outperform any normal human. They should be able to run like Olympic sprinters when they need to. 343's janky Spartan 4s are supposed to be comparable to the 2s, so Osiris should also be moving at a blinding speed. Instead, they're just shuffling along like the old people you get stuck behind when you're doing your grocery shopping.
Blue team! Stay where you are.
But Locke then confronts Blue Team at the final teleporter, while the rest of Osiris just sort of watches. For this fight, the other 3 members of his team might as well not exist. They could easily drop down and assist him, but they don't. They don't do anything in this sequence. When you construct a fight scene, you have to take into account every character present. All of them should be doing something, unless they're abstaining for some reason, or too injured or incapacitated to take action. That isn't the case for the rest of Osiris. So already, 343 has shown that they don't know how to choreograph a fight scene here, but let's keep going.
"117, stand down." Sir, you are absent without leave. This is your one chance to come home peacefully. Blue team, stand down!
But the issue from before is compounded here. Chief just tells the other 3 members of Blue Team to go through the teleporter. What? There are 8 characters in this sequence, and 6 of them are ignored. Chief wouldn't just tell Blue Team to go on ahead while he's confronted by 4 attackers equal to himself, and there's no way that Blue Team would just wander off. Also, Locke showed previously that the armor restraints can be thrown and will adhere to their target, yet neither he nor the rest of his team try that tactic here. The rest of Osiris doesn't even make an attempt to chase after Blue Team. They've just had their brains removed for this scene.
I have a job to do.
Cortana's our concern now, sir.
Like hell she is.
But Locke just shuffles his way closer and closer to Chief, his rifle raised. Either use the weapon or don't. We already know that your objective is to capture, not kill, so this show of pointing your weapon is hollow. Chief then demonstrates why you want to, keep at range with a ranged weapon. If your opponent can get close enough to make sure that you can't point the end of it at them, then its effectiveness is reduced to almost zero. Chief grabs the weapon from Locke, who apparently has an incredibly long reaction time, in addition to his noodle fingers. I give Chief credit for his speed with grabbing the rifle, but his following swing was wound up to such an insane degree that Locke really should have reacted to it. Just look at how far Chief draws his arm back. He doesn't even bring his other arm up to protect himself, remaining completely exposed. Locke just stands there staring at him while Chief then smashes his battle rifle across his face. It's also interesting that the character's energy shields don't flare up in this fight. It's just an odd continuity error that I noticed, but oh well. Chief then throws a horribly telegraphed haymaker hook like he's an aggressive drunkard. Again, his other hand isn't protecting his body, and he just leans in with his face. Locke had plenty of time to hit or grapple with him while he slowly wound up. But, to Locke's credit, he does manage to evade, and Chief, for some reason, demonstrates no knowledge of hand-to-hand combat as he overswings and leaves his back exposed. This isn't how a Spartan should be fighting.
Nice aim!
But instead of capitalizing on Chief's drunkenness, Locke just stands there and blocks his next elbow strike. Locke, you don't need both hands for that. You could hit him with your other hand or kick him. Better yet, you could use your other hand to put the armor restraint on him. Do you have any cognitive capabilities? Chief then tries for another hook, but Locke counters it with a shot at his ribs. The pair then have a short hand-holding session and seem to forget that they have 3 other limbs, 2 shoulders, and a head that they can strike with. But Chief is able to use Locke's own force against him by switching from pushing against his hand to pulling, putting Locke off balance and drawing him in to strike him. That was okay, I guess. These two should really be much more capable than this, though. Locke goes sprawling, and then Chief fails to make good on the opening he just created by slowly doing a Terminator walk towards him. But Locke then does something rather strange. He somehow knees Chief in the side of the head as he gets back up. Elbows and knees are extremely effective, but they don't have much reach. I want to fight once with a knee, but Locke shouldn't have been able to reach Chief's head with one unless Chief was leaning forward or Locke jumped up. I'd love to see this cutscene in free cam just to see how this was pulled off. Are Chief's legs just clipping into the floor? Chief then stumbles back without protecting himself again, and Locke kicks him in the midsection. Honestly, it's just gross how badly these two are performing here. Considering the training of the Spartan 2s, and that 343 wants the 4s to be equal to them, this should be a contest between masters. Their strikes should be absurdly quick, and they should never let their guard down. One strike should set up another, with each combatant parrying or evading their enemy's attacks, with the occasional blocks thrown in. Instead, this looks like 343 just mocapped a pair of drunken children. Their attacks are slow, telegraphed, and never lead into another strike fluidly.
I'm drunk! You don't have an excuse!
But Locke also decides that he wants to practice the Terminator walk, and winds up a horrible haymaker of his own. The camera cuts abruptly, but Chief finally does something and flips Locke onto the ground. I'll give credit where it's due. Chief does get himself under Locke's center of gravity before trying to flip him. That's an important part about doing something like that. It's much easier to get leverage on your opponent if your center of mass is under theirs. That's why you'll see this sort of thing when a martial artist performs a takedown. But Chief lets go of Locke as he does so. He was in a perfect position to grab his arm, and from there he could have possibly broken or dislocated it. Instead, he winds up again, and his other hand is again not protecting himself. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, but keep your guard up. If you're in a fight, you can't let your guard down, or else your enemy can just hit you, especially in the head. You can generally tank a few hits to the torso, but your head has a bunch of fragile stuff in it that you don't want taking kinetic energy. Because Chief is so slow, Locke can roll away from his strike, and Chief eats a foot to his visor. He stumbles back like Frankenstein's monster, and then just waits to eat another pair of knees from Locke. Did this just become a turn-based game? Because Chief still does nothing while Locke strikes him 2 more times, still not putting his guard up. Chief is supposed to have been able to fight against elites and brutes in close quarters. A piddly little Spartan 4 shouldn't be doing this well against him. Chief then falls to a knee, his visor cracked. Why weren't his energy shields protecting him from this? Mjolnir armor is supposed to be the best of the best, but here it just falls apart like it's a cheap cosplay. But Chief does a slow, dramatic stand-up for us to see his cracked visor. And in this time, Locke should have been able to get the armor restraint out and put it on him. Or better yet, the other 3 members of Osiris could have done something. But now Locke pulls out the armor restraint again. Now in full view of Chief to let him know exactly what he's trying to do. You only do something this obvious if you're trying to set up something else and want this to draw your opponent's attention. We get a shot of the 2 staring each other down, with Osiris having become scenery objects instead of characters. If you don't know what to do with characters in a scene, don't let the audience see them just stationary in the foreground like this. It draws attention to the flaw. But both Locke and Chief wind up their next moves, but Chief is able to seize Locke's wrist and follow up with a hook and a backhand, while Locke just stands there, confounded that his obvious strategy didn't work. Chief then strikes Locke with a knee and redirects Locke's attempt to shove the armor restraint onto him, and the 2 lovingly hold hands again. You have other limbs. Use these when your arms are otherwise occupied. Eventually, Chief decides to utilize a headbutt, and Locke becomes disoriented enough for Chief to wrench the armor restraint from him and slap it onto his chest. Locke then makes a fragile showing of going for his pistol, but we saw the armor restraint stick to you, and we know that it isn't in your mission parameters to kill Blue Team. We once again see that Osiris just sat there as passive observers to this whole thing, and then Chief departs. Wow. This was a train wreck. Spartan 2s and 4s should be the finest fighters that humanity has to offer, but this display made them seem like chumps. So what would I have done to fix this? Firstly, all 8 combatants should be taking part. Blue Team saw Osiris approaching, so they know what's coming. All of Osiris should have confronted Blue Team on that final platform. Now, Chief and the others aren't monsters, but they know what they and the 4s are capable of. Instead of sending his squad away, Chief should order them to put just a few rounds into Osiris to weaken their shields. Remember that energy shields soak up a good chunk of damage and generally need to be broken before a Spartan is vulnerable. Blue team has the advantage of being able to use more force than Osiris. They won't completely break their shields, as they've been through the whole Human Covenant war. They know control. This means that by the time Osiris can come to grips with them, Blue team has the advantage. Osiris might have more gadgets and tech on their side, but Blue team has skill and experience. Remember that Blue team have been Spartans their whole lives, but Osiris have only been 4s for a little while. This means that while the 4s will put up a good showing, the 2s will either beat them until they're too dazed to get up, or have their armor restraints put upon them. Blue team have also been working together for longer, so they should be able to work as a unit much more effectively than Osiris. But these were just my observations. What were yours? I find that this sequence is a bit of a microcosm with how 343 has handled Halo, attempting to be dramatic, but not quite knowing what they're doing. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and leave a like if you're so inclined, and subscribe to see more. And may you all have a weapon in each hand.